Well, welcome everyone. It is Rob. Hope you're having an amazing day today. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you'd please type in the number 1 in the chat box, let me know that you can. I would appreciate it. All right. Afternoon, John. Jim, good afternoon. Yeah, 11:02. Thanks. Afternoon, Kevin. Sorry, guys, managing positions. Got to deal with that first. Just had to get an order set up. So I don't get caught on the wrong side of it. So y'all are important, but so is the finances in my brokerage account. Let's see if we don't get a camera going there. All right, there we go. Guys, appreciate the ones. Just keep in mind the Q&A is really not something that I look at. So make sure that you're putting your comments in the chat box. I'd appreciate it. Trade away. There you go, Kevin. Okay, Robert. Yes, there you go. Appreciate it. I can hear. Let's see who is here with me today. Amy, can you see if you can help Kevin out there, please? All right. So as we jump in here, folks, keep in mind everything we look at today is for educational purposes only. Nothing is meant to be advice or recommendations. All right. So we got a couple of housekeeping things to get out of the way. Mastering the Trade coming up on April 6th. Mastering the Trade, that is for those of you that are in power option plays, which is next week. I just came to find out that I had very little I'm teaching this week. So happy and sad at the same time. I've just fixed that camera a little bit. I've got some very easy weeknights this week. Now I have one night this week that I'm actually teaching anything, which for me works out okay since the first quarter has seemed to be insanity for me. Trading You is on the 13th, and the 14th is Patterns in a Flash. And on the 27th is next Monster Market Movers. We had a great Monster Market Movers on Friday night. Mastermind group, of course, Tuesday night. Amelia's got a great topic plan for tomorrow. I spoke with her earlier today. You got Power Hour Trading Coaches Playbook. They're the cornerstones of the week for us, folks. Be in both of those classes always. Market mornings, every single morning, 8:30 a.m. We are crushing it regularly. And if you did what I said and traded Tesla today, you destroyed it. Destroyed it. Right? 30 days of trading success coming up on this, Wednesday, which is the 30th. Right? I haven't taught it in a little bit. It is going to be a great training, guys. I saw amazing things come out of the last one. I'll share some of the testimonials with you guys, but we saw some amazing things come out of there. You want to be in this class. I'm only doing it on the 30th, 12 p.m., not a.m., not for me, 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then April 7th is Trading the Gap. I'm going to go over some of the ways that if you're not recognizing how a stock gaps, and understand what the gap actually means, you will not be taking the correct trades. And it is so easy to get your head handed to you on those trade setups, right? Power option plays, covered call, explorer, e-mini, all on their regular schedule for this week. Enjoy the time with your family, relaxing, well-deserved. There you go, Robert. Absolutely. Very, very much. Definitely chilled out a little bit this weekend and took advantage. My oldest came over yesterday. All three of them, my wife, my two daughters, went shopping yesterday. They asked me to go. Dad, we're going to go out to the outlets clothes shopping. Do you want to come? How long are you going to be? I don't know. 5 or 6 hours? No. I'm sorry. I said, I'll make pizza. So when you come home, we'll have fresh pizza. But no outlet shopping for me yesterday. I actually made pizza and some bread. Yes, I don't know if I still have it here. I shared it with a couple of people this morning. Was that today? It is. Got to celebrate your wins, right? There's my mozzarella, my pizza dough bread. It's my pizza dough bread with fresh cheese inside. So fresh mozzarella. So my daughter came home yesterday, dropped her packages on the floor, literally right next to the kitchen table, and ran in with a knife and cut that sucker up. And she could not wait to open that bread up and eat it. So it came out amazing. Karen said, recipe, please. Karen, pretty simple. It was pizza dough. So, flour, water, honey, salt, yeast, right? And mozzarella. That's all I did. Mozzarella. That's a 16-inch pie cut in half, literally cut in half, stretched out, and put the cheese in the middle. Done. Dad, we need your credit card. Yeah, no kidding. It definitely happened from my wife's standpoint yesterday. That's for sure. Paul said, second chances. I took a long Amazon call early and sold just before the pullback. Now it looks like it's heading back up. Do you ever suggest taking a second long call when the chart presents like this? Yeah, I have no problem with it, Paul. I got to win on a trade. I'm playing with house's money, so I'm not as concerned with it. As long as the market conditions are right, the stock is bouncing, and it's a clear and concise entry. Yes, taking a channel as an example, intraday, definitely worth doing. Yeah, no dead fish. Thanks for that, though. You're welcome there, Paul. All right, so let's do this. As I'm running through here, guys, and I'm going to get through the rest of the stuff here, go ahead and drop in the trades that you did today. I'll share with you whatever we've come up with for the day, but drop your trades in for the day of what you have, and let's see what that is. Sharing is caring, right? Make sure you're following along on the various social media platforms that we have. And at 30 Days of Trading Success, just 2 sessions, noon and 8 p.m. Do not miss out. Amy dropped a link in there for you. Do not miss out on this training, guys. You will be disappointed. Well, you may not know you're disappointed. You will not know what you're going to be missing if you do not show up, right? All right, so lots of trade setups in there. So let's see. So Amelia, many of you know Amelia is our head trader. And what she does is every single day she puts trades out on Trade Watch Alerts, which is her tool. It's her baby. She birthed it. She's mothered it and taken care of it and all of that great stuff, right? She consistently makes adjustments, changes, modifications based on market conditions, on how she picks her candidates and so forth. And she took a trade today that I'll share with you. It's on SPY. And you can see she marks it all off. She does a great job with the chart. So if I go grab a drawing tool, that green is probably not going to be the best color for what I want. So we'll grab a nice bright red. So you can see right here, 9:34, 9:43. Goodness gracious. My dyslexia kicking in. 9:43 this morning. She took a trade. She opened up 13 contracts, 13X on the SPY, right? They were the March 28th, which is today's expiration. She bought the 451 calls at 256, right? Which means for every one contract she did, she needed $256. Can you do just one contract on this? Absolutely, you can. You can do just one contract. You do not need to have dozens or 10 or 5. You can get away with one contract here. She bought it at $256, right? And right here on this candle, okay? And what happened? We ran up, we ran up, we ran up. And on this candle, she closed that trade out at 286. So it was 11% rate of return in 8 minutes. It would have been better, Amelia, if it was a 13% rate of return in 8 minutes while you're using a 5-minute candle. Aha, right? 5, 8, 13. And of course, you had the, well, actually, I guess you had the 13, Amelia. There it is. You had 13. So we had a 5, an 8, and a 13 in there. And I'm sure you checked it 3 times before you put that trade on. All right, we're getting a little carried away with it. But look what she did there. 30 cents. One contract would be $30. Oh, Robin, it's one contract. What am I making with $30? I can't even buy like freaking McDonald's for the family anymore. You can get a pizza and a couple of Cokes and that's it. I get it. Okay. But if you're doing one contract, you also only need $256. But bottom line, it's still 11%. 11% for 8 minutes. You are not going to find that anywhere in the marketplace. You won't. There's no brokers talking about this stuff. There's no financial advisors guiding you and none of that stuff. So Amelia, it took her a long time before she was comfortable saying, we're going to push 13 contracts on this trade. And now that's exact on SPY and Qs. That's her numbers, her 13 contracts, because she's comfortable with that risk. And when I say comfortable pushing that, what I mean by that is we've always talked about it's only one contract, just one trade. You're just one trade away, right? One contract is all you need to do this. And for a very long time, that's how she ran it. One contract, one contract, one contract. I said, Amelia, you're getting traders that have been doing this for a very long time with you now. Let's kick the number up a little bit. And before you know it, it went from 1 to 13 contracts. I don't want to say overnight, but fairly quickly to the 13 contracts. Do you have to do that many? No. Do you have to do that little? No. See, it's perspective. What side are you coming at it from? Too many? Too little? You don't. I spoke with Brandon the other day. There's somebody that is doing his SPX alerts. They're doing 30 contracts a time. So when Brandon comes out and says, you know, for the month, we're up $1,500, that's on one contract. Now take that and multiply it by 30, and that's what that person is doing, assuming they're doing the same things and having the same setups, and they cut it at the same time. But 30 contracts, do you have to do one? No. Do you have to do 13? No. You pick what's comfortable for you. All right. So let's see what you guys listed out in here. All right. So AMC looked apish. There you go, Alan. They were delicious, Jim. There's still a little bit left on one of them. Paula said 30 cent loss on SPY. Just got out just before it dropped. Okay. Let's see. John said naked puts AMC, SPWR, diagonal spread on Mo, Wheel of Fortune on CCL, and UVXY. Nice. You do a lot of UVXY, don't you, John? I think you've had that in here before. Alan said Amazon, Google out before SPX failed at the 618. Very nice, Alan. Very nice. Very nice. John said, yes, he does. Okay. Evelyn, SPY put up 1%. May trade some more later. I hear you. Let's see. This is, yeah, it's a 3-minute chart. Well, exactly. Which one, Blade? When you say, is that a class I can join? Are you talking about the 30 Days to Trading Success? That is a free training I'm doing. Trade of the day. Yes, Amelia has, there's a 2-week trial on it, Blade. Check it out, guys. And listen, I don't know how else to say it. I am a big fan, a big believer that we don't deserve your money for any tool that we have, if we can't prove to you that it works, right? So any of our subscriptions, right, for the most part, the quarterly type ones, even TradeWatch alerts, and even Cover Call Explorer with just the monthly was at one point a 2-week trial on there. So check it out for the 2 weeks. If you like it, do nothing. You'll be charged for it. If you don't like it, send us an email and we stop the charge. No harm, no foul. But take advantage of 2 weeks of trades that come out. And Amelia will send 3 or 4 emails a day. And she's actually getting ready to make some adjustments to it, which are going to blow you guys away. Those of you that have TradeWatch alerts will be excited for it. Those of you that don't, let's see, have TradeWatch alerts, we're trying to kick around whether or not we're going to raise the price of it. It's not today, so don't worry about it. We're going to raise the price of it once these new things get added, but we're not there today. So those that have it will get all of these new adjustments automatically. So Amelia sends out 4 or 5 trades at a time. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 updates today, 4 updates. And with each one we'll have, well, the main one has 3 candidates in it and what the setup is. You know, one was bull put spread or bull call debit spread. The other one, bull put spread or bull call debit spread. Actually, they were all, no, the first one was a call or a bull call debit spread. All right. So she has very particular setups that she looks for. So she dropped that in there, Blade. You can check it out. Right. Go ahead and click on that link and you'll be fine. Robert S. Tesla, bull put spread out already for a very small profit. Apple call stopped out for a small loss. AMC 18 strike naked put. Telray $7 strike naked put. And from what I remember, Robert, let's see. You did an Apple call. I had to wait on Apple today, right, from this morning. So I held off on that one. I didn't like the pattern that was in there. But Robert, Robert's doing well, guys. The other day, we're in the Market Morning Show, which we do at 8:30 every day, Monday through Friday on YouTube. And Robert listed out a host of trades from the day before. They were paper, but up $13,000 on the trades he had put in there, right? And I forgot who it was. I think it was one of the Johns said, Rob, I can't even track, to Robert he was telling me, I can't even track that many companies that you took the trades for. Let's see. Jim said, actually, look, it is a 5-minute chart, Jim. Absolutely, it is 5 minutes. I'm just having fun with 5, 8, 13, 21, trying to get some fib numbers out of it. Thanks. All right, good. So guys, how does the market move so far today? Right. Well, I mean, these are the candidates that we looked at earlier today. These are the ones that I had listed out. The S&P 500 is down 23. Okay. We were at 8:30 this morning. So here's 8:30. That's 25. That's the 8:30 candle. So that's the close on 8:30. We started our YouTube show right there, and we just dropped. Right, nice pop up, double top with the lower right shoulder. Right, kind of tip down sideways there. I'm just focused on these two here. All right, yes, from here as well. Trending down, but we broke through that neckline with a vengeance. Look at that candle where we broke. Woo, baby. Right? Great bearish move in there. But we talked about on the S&P 500. Let's see that where it is. We talked about on the S&P 500 where we are, right? We're up at that 618 level. Yesterday when I went through and did the finalized the update for power option plays, we got it as bullish, but we're right up against that resistance level. The key was we've got to get above this short-term double top pattern that's in there, right? We got a short-term double bottom there. Look like equal distance just about between those candles, right, where they laid out there. And, with a move potential down to 4,500, right, on the S&P. So we've got a lot of room left to move. We're at 45.27 right now. Lots and lots of room to move there on it. Now, can we get a pop tomorrow to the upside? Yep. But guys, we opened up. We bumped our head on ugly. What's ugly? Resistance is ugly, right? We bumped our head on ugly and failed, right? That was an expression I got from when I was a kid, bumping your head on ugly, right? And we rolled over from there. So lots and lots of bearishness in there, right? So when you look at what we went through this morning as the market rolled over, right? So Chris said managing the SPY and TWLO puts. Nice, Chris. If you're long, that is fantastic. Kevin said bought a couple of puts on GameStop for May. There you go. I love it. Right. So guys, we had companies like Beyond Meat was a bearish candidate today, right? For sure. Big time bear, right? They had a downgrade come out on them. They're down nicely, $2.50. Right. Let's see. Deere was up on a nice upgrade from JP Morgan, but they couldn't sustain with the news rolling them over. Right. MCHOP and Mo were both bearish candidates on our list. Right. They've done very nicely to the downside. Right. Mo is Altera. Right. Most everything else was upside. Apple came out bearish because they said that they were cutting the next quarter's rollover 20%. Right. So I chose to wait because it was up near resistance. Apple rolled over $1.37. So it was a nice little move in there. Right. Even AMC, which to me, I was looking at the naked puts on AMC. And if I pull this up here, go to AMC. Come on. Whew, goodness gracious. So I'm looking at the 16s, below 16, right? So let's see, give me a few more strikes. I need more than that. So the 16s right here, guys, the 16s, when we looked at them this morning, we said 20 cents, right? They opened up at 20 cents this morning. And right now they're at 5. What a beautiful day, right? Yeah, I didn't take anything, Chris, on coin. I didn't take anything on coin. I don't know who the 2TM company is, private, because I didn't have any kind of I didn't see any kind of company name behind, any data behind this publicly traded company that they were buying out. But no, I didn't take anything on Coinbase on it. I had enough of managing my own open positions today. Monday's a super busy day for me. So I don't get a lot of trades off. Usually if I can get 2 or 3 off, I'm excited. Right, SPY, I always look at SPY for potential pivot point trades, guys. There's just so much opportunity in SPY, right? So depending on where we rolled over, right? Look, you can see SPY pushed up 10 o'clock. There's the push down, right? First half of the trade, you're out, but I just 52 to 53. There wasn't a lot of room, a lot of movement in there between the midpoints. I would have only gone for the full move down here. So, but I did not take it. I didn't take anything on it. It was $2, $1.50 between the R1 and the pivot, right? Ed said on the micros for the YM, small profit. So now understand, you got to understand where it all comes from, right? For someone may say a small profit, they made $30 on one SPY contract that Amelia put in. Right? Ed typed in small contract on the micro YMs and he's up $155. I would bet for some of you, $155, if you were clearing that on a regular basis, you would be ecstatic. Am I right? How many of you could get excited if you could only do $150 a day? Right? No kidding. Look at the ones lighting up in there. Right? Great job on that, Ed, for only $150, which shows he's doing better on many days. Lots of ones coming through, Ed, and much kudos coming in as well. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, it's a profit. Yes, Kevin. 155 was the profit. Yep. And by the way, and he wrote in 30 minutes, $150 in 30 minutes. There you go. So, all right, Chris, I didn't realize you were trading them. Chris is trading the micro YM up $95 today and the micro NQ up $100 today. That's $195 on the futures. Jim typed in a put, SPY put up around 25% at 1233. Very nice. Chris said, I love the micros. Me too, especially with what they've done with margin right now. Micros are a great way to not have this massive, massive cost in the position. So I'm a big fan of them. Let's see. I have very distinct sounds for, all right. Just making sure that came from a trading partner. So I want to make sure there was nothing that was going on that we needed to manage or take a look at real quick. So we're good though. Yeah, you're getting some kudos in there, Chris. Yeah, back and forth. Appreciate that, Ed. Excellent. All right. So let me bring you back over here and let's talk about the death cross. It's back. Let's go take a look at what death cross is. And then let's go in and start talking about what we're looking for. I got to get used to these very tall bottles. It takes a long time to get the water to the top of the bottle. But instead of me having my hand stretched out like this all day long, because I drink, these are a quart, and I drink 4 to 6 of these a day. So my hand is out like this all day long on those huge glass jars. I'm afraid I'm going to drop them sooner or later. I don't know how TradeStation does it with the micros, but I'm fairly sure, Robert, that they are reduced commissions on the micros compared to the YM on Trade's platform. Guys, I want you to remember something. Any of you that are contemplating trading futures, there's something I really want you to consider. And I'm going to let you know we have zero financial relationship with this broker. I do have a funded account with this broker, and it is Trade Pro Futures. Right. And the reason I'm bringing it up is the question that Robert asked. Let me where am I? Okay, that's what I'm looking for right there. All right. If you go over to trading resources on wealthbuildershq.com and you go and look for brokerage firms, and there's Trade Pro Futures. Okay. And you open that up right in there. Right. Open an account. Right. Open a demo account. You need to tell them. And again, guys, it financially does nothing for me, but you're making a mistake if you don't tell them this when you set an account up. And if you didn't know it, make sure you tell them now. What they do is they have a tuition reimbursement program, and they will reimburse you as soon as you ask for that. They're going to reach out to us and say, hey, what has Bill, Mary, John spent with Wealth Builders? And we're going to tell them, because if you spent $100 or $1 million, it doesn't matter. They will credit you back in commissions. And it's not the whole commission, but it's a percentage back on every trade for every penny, up to every penny you have ever spent with Wealth Builders. They will credit you back for that. So if you spent $1,000, they will credit you back up to $1,000 of your commissions as you're trading along the way. All right. And here's the secret. Shh, don't tell him though. Don't tell Trey. Trey's a great guy, by the way, and I'll tell you why in a minute. They never ask again. Did they spend more money? Did we hit the target? They just, once you're in, you're in. They don't even question it. Right. It's just, they're going to just keep discounting it forever as long as you're in there. Right. It's a nice drop in commissions that you do not want to miss out on. So take advantage of that. Right now, the other reason to use these guys is Trey, the owner. He's the broker, right? He's the owner of the firm, but he's also a trader. So if you ask him a question about trading, he knows about strategies. He understands the techniques, and he's not there just as, yeah, what's going on today? Market's up. S&P is down. That's not Trey. Trey is going to have a lot more information. Let me just turn that off. He's going to have a lot more information for you than that. So you want to make sure that you are, if you're using a broker, consider Trade Pro Futures. Once again, we don't have any financial relationship, guys, with them whatsoever. Don't do, it's up to you. All right. Nice, Blade. There you go. I just saw that my Home Depot one contract is now $40 profitable. You got it. Yeah, Chris said commissions on the micros are dirt cheap. Let's see. Do I know how the pivots work on TOS? I'm not sure where they come from, Kevin, how to insert them, but you use them the same way, but where to install them, I'm not 100% sure. Robert, I hope that answered your question about Trey's platform there. I guess I really don't understand how to use them. Exactly. Okay, we're gonna, so Trader Will said it's in the studies lab. Kevin, if you're looking for where they are, it's in the studies lab. So I just saw a question that came about. Jim said death cross on which ticker symbol on, so we look at the death cross on the S&P 500. That's really where it is known for, is on the S&P, right? So if you're looking at it from a trade station standpoint, it's the SPX, $SPX.X is the trade station. By the way, guys, so if you look at BITO, B-I-T-O, all right, it just corrected. Well, maybe not. It's got a C down in here. So I've never tried to fix it here. All right, so there's a little C in the upper right-hand corner. You may not be able to see the BITO. If we go to data corrections, apply corrections for all windows, right? And there might be a tick off somewhere. Here, you see that big wick down in there? More than likely, that's the bad tick that they're referring to. That long, drawn-out wick on BITO. Right down here, right? Something happened that it was off. That trade station has a way of hitting corrections on it. So SPX, $SPX.X is the symbol we're looking at, and we normally look at that on a daily, weekly, and/or monthly. Although monthly really doesn't tend to work very well, but on the bigger time frames, it's really not an intraday indicator, is what I'm getting at, right? So I have on my Omega charts a 200 and a 50-day moving average, and this is the original way to look at a death cross. That's how it was meant to be. Those are the moving averages that are used there, both simple, no X after either one of them. They're both simple moving averages. So basically we're looking at the red line, the 50, crossing down through the blue line, the 200, okay? And we'll look at the ones that I use in a moment. I don't use these two personally. But if we go back and look historically, and it gets a little bit busy because all the moving average, the Fibonacci's on there. Sorry about that. But the last time we crossed up was July of 2020. Right? We crossed up. We crossed down We crossed down in March or April of 2020, we crossed through, right? And we've had a few other instances of crosses up and down. We had this one here in 2018. It crossed down. In April of 2019, it crossed back up. But for the most part, it's, again, a little tough to see, but that red line is above the blue line, which means we have, for a very long time, chugged along. You can see from right here where we crossed up. So we've been going now from July of 20, right? And we've had a very strong market. Look at the separation that took place in the moving averages. And then here was all maintenance phase, right? What I mean by that is, let's grab a different color because red is just going to really amplify the problem here. So my distance in here had maintained extremely well. We were ups and downs, right? But maintained above the 50. We did drop down below it, which was the first time it had really happened of any length. Came back, came down below it again. We crossed the last time and broke the 200. That was a massive fear component for many traders as we broke down through the 200, right? And what that 200 break bought, I may not be looking at the 200, but what I am looking at is this 10% correction in here. And that move down brought us right into that 10% correction. So we broke the 50, we broke the 200, we came back up, lower highs, short-term double top pattern. We failed, got underneath the 200. Now, the moving averages are not holding their distance any longer between. And the spacing is a big part of what we're looking for on moving averages. Right? How is the spacing between the moving average setting up? Right? Once the moving averages start to tighten, it's showing you that weakness is setting up in that pattern. Doesn't mean it's going down. It's just weakness is setting up. Right? And we broke through here, and all of this, none of this has brought anything until right here when the 50 crossed down through the 200. Right? And that came on March 14th, right, of this year. That's where that happened. That's where it crossed right through there. Okay. And we have started to see now separation of the moving averages in here, getting wider apart. But Rob, we're going back up again. It doesn't matter. This is very long-term moving averages, right? When we broke the 50, look how long it took for the 50 to actually break right here. I mean, you're talking about 2 months before we actually broke to the downside from the beginning of this year. So just breaking the 50 didn't mean anything. We broke it here, we broke it here, here, right? On this beginning part, that re-break there, it still took a couple of days before you were able to see what was going on, right? A week or two before the moving averages started to indicate there could potentially be some weakness. So what it's showing us right now is if we stay in this pattern, the expectation is price will not remain, right? So we need to see where price is going to go. With it failing at the 618, now again for a third time, it failed 1, it failed 2, and now it failed 3. This one being a clean fail. These other twos had pops above. This being a clean fail. If this actually is a failure and we do drop from here, we now have key levels to be looking for. But why are these 250 levels so important? I've got the 200 with a confluence of the 4486 level, 4485.73. There's a confluence going on right there. So there's added strength. Does that mean it's going to hold? It just means it's strong. Doesn't mean it's strong enough to hold. Listen, I don't have the exact answer. Don't look for that. You should never be doing that. You should never rely on any person to say definitively this is what's going to happen. If I could definitively tell you what was going to happen, you'd be paying me millions of dollars a year to definitively tell you what was going to happen, right? I can't. I wish I could. I wouldn't mind millions of dollars a year from each of you, but right, because I would never be wrong. You would always have the right answer. It's like witchcraft or whatever it is. You need to analyze the markets and understand what's going on. Now, with all that being said, are we in a true bearish market? Well, no, we're not, right? At this point, there's no bearishness to the market. Now, we're above our 50 and our 200. right? If we go over to, template number 2, which I've got my 8/21/55 on, our 8 is the highest moving average. We're in a bullish bias. We're not true bull. True bull means the moving averages are all in the right order. 8 on top, 21 in the middle, 55 on the bottom. Pink, green, brown in that order. Pink on top, green in the middle, brown on the bottom. We don't have that right now. Pink is on top, so we're bullish, but not true bull. True bullish would be them all in the right order. But we could still take a directional trade. Am I turning bearish on SPX because it's down today? Goodness, no. Look at the run it's had. Right now, you got to put some caution in there, folks. What's going on with Russia right now is a concern, right? Without a doubt. The war with Ukraine, big concern, right? Inflation, president's job numbers hit an all-time low. The job numbers for Biden hit an all-time low for his presidency, okay? With us coming out of doldrums and all the touting of how well we've done, he's still down in the gutter from where he was. He had great numbers early on, but where he was, okay? All of these things are concerning. The comments being made, and I don't per se disagree or agree with some of what he says. Listen, very clearly, most of you know I'm not a fan of him, okay? If he retired early, I don't know if I'd be happy because the next in line wouldn't be very good either. But anyway, we'll leave that one alone. So I'm not necessarily a fan of what he does and says, but he came out and said that Putin he's a war criminal. He came out and said that he needs to be taken out of power. And then the White House apparently is backing all of that away and go, no, we didn't really mean that. No, you took it the wrong way, right? Because there's this fear of, does a person with his capacity, mentally, weapons-wise capacity, say, well, here's how I retaliate. We're hitting enter. You know, the wrong enter for me, but we're hitting enter, right? The fear of what's going on with NATO, all of that can mess this up. And whether you want to think about it or not, or you like my political position or not, doesn't matter. I don't say it for you to believe and agree and or disagree with me. I say it for you to understand. You need to know these are the things that are messing with what goes on in the market. Is this the cleanest market to be taking a directional trade in? No, it's not, which is why in power option plays, we've almost done 0 swing trades, almost none. And what happened? When I did the update the other day, I wound up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 companies that we said we're going to take bullish directional trades right as the market's rolling over today, the next day. Now, it didn't mean we were taking them today. None of them would be taken today. They all needed pullbacks. So none were being taken today. But we need the setup in there, all right? So now that you've got some context to it, let's go back to template number 1. And let's make an adjustment. So a good question, Blade. They definitely are going to be simple. Oh, at 50 and 200 are meant to be simple. Robert said, even though you have the 250 cross, I like that it's above the 200 moving average. And it is 50, Robert. I don't have 55 in there yet. We will. Before it was below the 50 going down. Okay, Robert. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this. And this is the only time that I use a 55 moving average as a simple versus an exponential. Normally for me, my moving averages are predicated and on anything 55 and below is exponential, 56 and above is simple. Well, look at the difference of what just transpired there. When you flip this switch, we haven't yet really, truly gone into a bearish shift in the moving averages, right? You can use whatever ones you like. I rely much heavier on 55 and 200 simple moving averages. And you'll know that by looking right here, you do not see an X after moving average. It's just moving average, no X. If I go over to the other template, you will see, actually I've modified these. So 55 EMA is what I have it. I don't have it just say moving average. I put 55 EMA, right? 5 EMA, 8 EMA, right? 21 EMA, exponential moving average. But you'll notice it normally, unless you modify it with the X, is exponential, right? If I edit this indicators, my indicators, and I go to my 55 moving average, right? It is an exponential moving average, okay? It's an exponential moving average. So, and it is 55, 5, and so forth, right? But again, I have them all listed as EMA. Correct, Jim. So on may have changed. I don't know if I saved it. Yeah, I didn't save it. So they should have been, and I'll confirm it, Jim. Come on. They should be, the 55 should be the red, and the 233 should be the moving average. So 55 and then 233. Right? The X would be exponential if there was an X after it. There's no X. And they might have a simple on here also. I've never used that. I just use moving average is the one that I was taught. So that's the settings that I use. That's the positions that I use. Those are the lines that I use. All right. So what is this telling us, guys? It's telling us that regardless of what you're looking at, we are getting to a point that bearishness could happen in the market. We saw the 10% correction already hit. You see my line that says 20% bear market. I am still wired and fired believing that that is a potential for us. And depending on what happens in the war and what happens with the president and the decisions that they make. And, here's a billionaire tax coming out. Now, will I ever get there? Listen, I'd love to be a billionaire. I don't know if I'm ever going to make that in my lifetime. I am not pursuing a career where I'm trying to make billions of dollars. Nice, but millions without a doubt. Billions, well, maybe not. So am I going to be hit by that tax? Probably. Wait, you just said you're not going to be a billionaire. Right, because it's not going to stop there. It's not just going to be billionaires. You can mark my words, 1 year, 5 years, 20 years. Sooner or later, someone's going to say, we need to lower the threshold. And now it's not billion, it's 900 million. It's 500 million. It's 200 million. It's 1 million. Sooner or later, oh, it's called Social Security tax. That's exactly where it started. Only for the rich. So it may not affect you today, and you may not think it ever will. You don't ever know what's going to happen. You hit lotto and you win $180 million, and all of a sudden you get this big wealth tax hits you, and you're like, wait, that's not fair. But it was fair when you didn't have it. Let's see. The numbers presented this morning was $100 million. There you go, Jeff. They were talking about billion. I had heard. It isn't going to be a good thing at all. Will it affect my kids? Yeah, my kids are going to, they'll make out well from my wife and I. Very well. Right. So will it affect them? They're both going to have jobs that well, my oldest already does, that she makes 6 figures. Right. She's a nurse. It's New York. It's just what you do. Put in any overtime, you can't miss hitting that at all. My younger one, a little bit more time to get there, but they both have good paying jobs. The one boyfriend is also a nurse. He's going to CRNA school. So he's going to be a nurse anesthesiologist. I think they start at like 300 grand a year or something, right? For a nurse anesthesiologist. I can't even say it right. But yes, children are definitely going to be affected by it. But again, guys, bottom line is whether you like the tax or not, listen, I have no problem with billionaires paying more money, but just don't ever believe that it stops there. That's all, because it won't stop there. They will make adjustments to that number. All right, beautiful. So I wanted to go through Death Cross a little bit. You got to keep your eyes out. So set a template up. You can put 50 and 200 on, and 233 and 55. You can compare both. Change the colors, change the thickness, change the shape of the line. Make sure Fibonacci's are not drawn on that page if you want, so it's clear and easy to see. Very simple to do, right? But you want to start watching the 10% correction we already had, the 20% drop. Take the all-time high and multiply it by 20%, and that's how much the drop is expected to be. That's all. That puts us in a bear market. Fundamentally, things are okay, except for the recession that we're going into, inflation that we're hitting, Apple cutting projections 20% on their output of phones for the next quarter because they can't get their hands on raw materials, right? China shutting down entire cities because of what they claim to be 50 cases of COVID, right? Whether you believe the number or not has nothing to do with anything other than they shut it down. Is that going to shut down production of other products and other raw materials and things like that? Concerns are definitely there. Jim, my daughters both learned how to trade the markets when they were very young, and then they discovered this thing that I would have been okay if it took them years longer to discover: boys, right? And at that point, they had no time any longer. It wasn't cool to hang out with dad and trade, right? It was cool to hang out with the boys, right? Or to be texting or Facebook and all that wonderful stuff. Right? Oh yeah, lots of LOLs cross. But true that, without a doubt, very true from that part of our lives. Actually, my daughter was on Facebook. My wife got on. I had not. My wife got on Facebook and asked my daughter to become friends, and my daughter told her no. So I said, okay, watch this. I said, Gina, help me set up a Facebook account. Okay, Dad, I can do it with you. Sure. And she did. And I said, oh, let's you and I be friends. And she goes, okay. My wife's like, what? I said, she's not telling me no. She may tell you no. She's not telling me no. She just really didn't use her Facebook anymore. She didn't want me to see what she was writing. Amos said, but they're still building campuses of housings to house the sick patients that they have only 55 cases in China. Yeah, and again, they even said it on CNBC. Can you believe them that it's only 50 cases? Do we actually believe what they're saying? I don't know if they're lying about it or not, what the reason is or not, but it, you see somebody sneeze and you say, God bless you. And next thing you know, they shut the entire town down. It's probably a little more than just a sneeze, right? There's something else there. All right. Give me the candidates you guys want me to take a look at. Drop them in. We got a few more minutes left. We will get to that. When you and I, yeah, Robert, when you and I were younger, our attention turned to girls. Robert, my attention until about 17, almost 17, was sports. I was phenomenal at everything I played, except I couldn't jump, so basketball wasn't it. I loved to play hockey. I just couldn't skate, so I was the goalie, right? I was really good. I had a great shot, but I was a good goalie. And soccer really wasn't a thing. The only people that played soccer when we were kids were if you were from Italy or from Germany, right? Our friends that were from there, they played soccer. Other than that, but you'd take football. I played basketball. Okay, I could shoot. I couldn't jump to save my life, but I could shoot. Right? I was good at climbing the rope and all of that stuff. I could do any of it. Right? Baseball, football. You did not want me across from you. Right? I knew exactly how to put a hurting on somebody when I needed to. Right, Barry, that's exactly what Amos was saying. China built complex, complete cities with nobody living in them. Jim said, not clean, but we are possibly creating a right shoulder around now, September, left shoulder, end of December. Are you talking about on the SPX, Jim? Because you had the head here, the shoulder here, the head here, the shoulder here, and that's where the break came on SPX. Right. So if it's SPX you're referring to, right? So we had shoulder, head, shoulder. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And then, so that trade, I mean, that setup worked out, and look where it broke, right where the neckline was, right? A lot of confluence things happening there. All right. So Sandy's asking me to look at MP. Let's see, who is MP? Let's go over to 2. All right, MP Materials, not sure who they are, $56 stock. Let's get a little bit bigger picture. Oh boy, okay. So this might be enough of a pullback right now. Yeah, that's good. The pullback is good. The pullback is good. 53, 57, 6. We don't need a fib in there. So I know nothing about the company, okay, whatsoever, Sandy. I know nothing about this company. So for me, I would look for a pullback to the fib, which puts me a close near that 53.20-ish level, or close where it is now, stretch down tomorrow and bounce, and you got 57.45. If you break the 53.20, 50.57 is an easy visual with a confluence of the 8 moving average there. So I do like it. Brenda's asking for SPY. SPY sitting up near that 453.17 level, which is the 618. So an easy fail, Brenda, down to the 447 level. But here's the thing. I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to blow up on my candidates here. Where are we? Jeez. No, we're going to do it anyway. We'll come back to it. Worst case scenario, I may ask you to give me the candidates again. So let me ask you, what is the way that you would trade this? How many of you would trade a breakout on this? Just only, yes, give me a 1 if you would trade the breakout on this. We break the 453.17, and that's your entry into the trade, right? Give me a 1 for yes, if you would. Give me a 2 if you would wait for the, if you would take the breakout, wait for the retest, and then the bounce. Yeah, there we go. Screens lighten up with 2s. Now, that doesn't mean a breakout doesn't work, guys. It's not what it means at all. It just means it's not the one that I take. I like the breakout, a retest, and a bounce. That's the best clarity for me as a trader. It gives me the best opportunity to be right. The best opportunity to be right is that. Let's see. And we do have some people that put in a 1, and there's nothing wrong with taking the breakout if that's who you are, right? Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anything. There's SPY, there's MP. So we're in a bullish bias, Brenda, not true bull, but bullish enough to take a bullish directional trade. If I were trading this bearish, it would be intraday only. That's all it would be, is intraday. 230, 215, well, seems like 145 in the afternoon now is where we're starting to even see some reversals take place. But that 145, 230-ish time frame to see a reversal start taking place, meaning we had moved up and we rest at lunchtime, we get a big push down, not uncommon. So you may see it yet this afternoon, right? Let's see. This is the only bad thing. Evelyn said, feeling a drop, small candles, less volume. Yep, and we're at the 618. Robert, we'll definitely take a look at that. Let me get through some of the ones that are up a little bit higher on my list. Robert's asking for GameStop, GME. So, no, it was the day before. It was on Thursday? Thursday we did a GameStop trade. Robert, you should be cranking it with covered calls at this point, right? With premium, if you still have your longs, with the nice move they've made down from $89, $85 up to 180, 170, right? What a move they've made in there, right? So for me, it's all about naked puts on GameStop, right? It's all about naked puts, GME. And or credit spreads, either one, guys. I'm fine with credit spreads as well, right? But if we're looking at GameStop, let me just put that there and leave it for a sec. If we're looking at GameStop, I'd be looking down below the 158, Robert, right? So it puts me at 155s. So the 155 puts for this week, holy mackerel. Let me do this. 55, 52 half. I can get $1.25 right now for the 55, 52 and a half. If I want to go ahead and say, give me a high probability of being right in this trade, I would go and sell the 147s, which has a 20 delta. So 147, 146, I'm looking at 33 cents. 33 cents. To be 25 points away. 23 points, whatever it is. 25 is close enough. right? And that gives me, the reason I chose that is 146 had a delta, no, now it's 147, but we've got a delta of 20. That's all it is, right? So sell the 120, sell the 147s, buy the 146. Yowza. Big premium on it, Robert. Big, big. So 158 support, 180 as resistance on GME. So, and I do like them a lot. Let's see, IBATF. Oh, biotech. Okay. This NASDAQ biotech. So if we bring this in a little bit, let's hit the unscrunch. Are these guys optionable? I'm guessing that they are, but IBATF. Oh, that's the wrong one. IBATF. Okay, I am IBATF. Let me make sure I'm typing it right. IBATF. Yeah, so nope, not there, not here, Robert. Let me see, was it on TradeStation? IBATF. Oh, goodness gracious. 5,500, that's why I didn't know who they were. Battery Metals, LTD, are they optionable? No, they're not optional. Okay. I mean, we can look at the daily chart here, Robert, because I don't have it on Omega. So they were hanging out at 55 cents. They're now at $5. I mean, it's had a big run, Robert. I don't know how to analyze it. I know you like, and you do well with these smaller companies that explode in here. You know, batteries, International Battery. I wish they were optionable, but for me, I'd want the pullback to the moving average. You're at all-time highs right now. It looks like, at least for the last 2 years. Yeah, I mean, at least from what I could see back into early 18. We're at all-time highs, but I mean, without having any kind of pullbacks, you don't have much to measure off of. I could draw a fib, but it's going to be off of this move here. So we're at the -618 now. So I don't know how much help I was to you, Robert. Sorry about that. Yeah, there you go, Robert. You caught it. Not in Omega charts. All right, so let's see. Let's go back here. All right, Tripp's asking for the Tripp Trio. Someone's picked up the torch in the morning, Tripp. When you're not there, I'm getting Micron regularly. All right, so on MU, where are we today? MU, we're down 16 cents right now, so 77 and jingle. Yeah, it's in a bearish bias, Tripp, so I like it down to that 74.5. When are there earnings tomorrow? 329, confirm them, but yeah, I'd be cautious with earnings. To get bullish, I need to get above 81. All right, then there's IBM. Let's plug that one in there, IBM. Actually, let me move this over here so I could at least use it. So IBM is down 44 cents right now. So 129.70 Tripp is the bounce point. It's at 131. So, and we got the bounce yesterday or Friday. We got that bounce, and we moved down to that 129.70, right? Looks like we pulled back a little bit today. If you can get that continuation, 133.28 is resistance. So I do like this one. And then AMD. And Tripp even typed in mostly day trades due to earnings. All right, so AMD. Let's type that one in. AMD right now is down $1.67. It's at 118. So at 118. So we're in the middle. 117. So we're right above the 8 moving average, which is almost the pivot inside of there where it is. So not excited about a trip. It's just not, it's too concerning with all the moving averages. Above the 121.27, yes. Down below the 113, yes. But I'm always leery of all the moving average action inside there. So that one is a little bit beyond where I would look at it. But I hope it helped. Sure, Amos. Amos is asking about Tesla. Right? And what he wanted to talk about is the split. So they announced a split today, and they didn't announce the split, wrong words. They announced that they're going to ask the shareholders for approval for a split. They split not long ago, and it's doubled from where it was. So it's had a great recovery already. Another split brings it back down. And I think that's a big part of their news today. But I think just as equally big is Musk coming out and talking about starting his own social platform to compete with Twitter. And I think you're going to see more and more people of power, you know, DWAC with Trump, Twitter, the Twitter replacement with Elon Musk, to say, we don't like how you guys are managing social, that you get to just block government officials. I mean, in essence, think about it. Any social platform could come out and say, we decide who we're going to support as president. Anything that's negative against that, we're going to stop you from seeing, or just kick them off the platform and so forth. They become a newspaper, and if they're doing that, and they better be responsible for everything that everybody types in that newspaper or in that social platform. So with that, I don't know. I don't have a date yet. I don't have a number. I couldn't find anything on the split, at least not early this morning, as far as how many shares they're going to split. I hope it's not another 20-for-1 like the Googles and the Amazons. That's too big of a number for me. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a 4-to-1, 10-for-1 even. I don't want it. I would like a 2-for-1. Bring me back down to $400 or $500 a share. I would like that. Right. But anything bigger, 3-for-1, okay, I could get behind that. 4-for-1, I think is too big, personally. And when I say it's too big, it's because I'm jealous, not jealous. It's going to affect the way we trade it. So that's going to become a harder trading company with that. So Amos, I hope that helped. Let me know if there was something else you were looking for. Amy was asking for BB. So 739, we own BB a very long time in one of our portfolios. Retirement accounts. It's a covered call candidate weekly or every other week at least. So we're up above the 8. In an ideal world, I'd like it to be above the 55 moving average. I mean, the drop it made from 20 was massive, right? That was a huge hit on it, right? We violated the negative 88, the 882, so we would need a place to redraw. So it really is not a valid fib line at all, which is why we have this horizontal line in there and this one down here, right? So it gives us support at 770, resistance at 950. So I like it. If it gets above the 750, we may add to the position because we've had it for a long time. We may add to the position. It's a good covered call, and they're going to get times when it doesn't work and I'm not writing as often or not writing as big a premium. That's okay. But you got earnings to be cautious of. So be very, very, very careful there with earnings, right? On BlackBerry. All right. So Jim said SPX, wow, tight, short time frame, head and shoulders. I was looking for a longer time. Okay. Yeah. And you can, Jim. I didn't look at it for that far back, but because that was just what was on screen for us. Sorry, Trip. I see, even though trend is bearish, I don't know what it meant. Sorry. Take a look at Delta Airlines. You got it, Robert. DAL. I like Delta a lot for multiple reasons. Prices have gone through the roof. I think with them, my daughter looked, Montana was like $900. It dropped $200 one day, but it was $900 for a flight from New York to Montana. They're getting the travel. People are complaining about prices. There's pushback on buying things. The one thing people are not pushing back on is travel. Airplanes, hotels, car rentals, $800 something. So again, Montana for a week with a car rental. I like it, Robert. If we can maintain above the $38, I like it for covered calls. Be cognizant of earnings coming up. Robert said, still have longs, looking at covered call every week, premium coming back in. Yep, I bet it is, Robert, with the moves it's made. Kevin said, Robert, I'd like to tell you every day I watch you and you make me feel very positive and pumped up to learn more and more. You're an amazing person to have in my life. Thank you. Appreciate it very much, Kevin. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. So Blade, what expiration is best for what type of trade? If we're day trading, we take the shortest term. If we are swing trading, we take 30 to 60 days. If I'm selling premium, ideally it's a week is ideal or less. There are times I have to go 2 weeks if I can't get enough premium for the one. There you go. Jim said Micron's earnings are tomorrow, AMC after the market closed today. Yep, Jim, let's go look at Square. And I know we got to go, guys, because I got to get to a meeting shortly. So I do like Square. Earnings are beyond us. We retested and closed yesterday, Friday, at the 8 moving average. We got our bounce today, and we ran up to the 137.48 already. So I don't want to keep testing and playing, Jim, between the moving average and the 137.48. I really want it above that 137.48 now, retest and bounce, and 148.5. So you're talking about $11 move potential once it does break and retest. Yeah, replace Facebook and Twitter. Exactly, Robert. Yeah, free speech is not allowed with some of these social platforms. I agree. Robert, so my covered call on CF and NTR are deep in the money. Still get some premium, but nice when the pullbacks and shorts make the money. And still deep in the money. I hear you. I got you there, Robert. I do. So, Amy, do me a favor. Can you drop the link in there, please, for tomorrow's training? Guys, you got Wednesday. 30 days to trading success. You do not want to miss out on this training, folks. I did it back in December into January, I think it was. It might have been early January we did it. We put people through this 30-day program, and I was blown away. I still cannot read the complete email that was sent to me from Suzanne, who is a new hire for us. Sent me an email with a bunch of testimonials in it, and I still cannot read that email because it tears me up every time I see it. With the pouring out of, oh my God, you've been such a blessing to me through this 30 days, how much confidence I have, how much better my trading's become, how much better I feel about it, and so forth. Right. So let's see. Amy might not be. Oh, there we go. She was trying to get it. I was trying to jump in and help out there. And I appreciate that you were able to get that in there. But guys, sign up, register for this free training. It's on the 30th. It is at noon and 8 p.m. Eastern. It's the only day I'm doing. I am not doing another day. Right. Yeah, there we go, Barry. It's Eastern time. It's Miller time, whether it's EST or ENT or ABC, East Coast time. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, make it a profitable day. Stay focused on the quest of becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. I'm going to leave the room open a couple of minutes so you can grab that link, but get registered for this free training. And I will see all of you at our next update. Take care, folks. See you soon.